So welcome to a new episode of Two Sober Girls, and this is not our usual studio. We're so excited to be in the gorgeous studio and home of Christina Caruso, our good friend and incredible jewelry designer. And a little bit about Christina. For those of you who don't know her yet, you're going to be obsessed. You're going to want to shop everything after this. Okay. So Christina is a graduate of Parsons in New York City, and her namesake line debuted on Sarah Jessica Parker's original hit series called Sex in the City, if anyone's familiar with that one. And her gorgeous jewelry has sold at Henry Bendel, Fred Siegel, and Patricia Field, among others. Soon after, Christina's talents were recognized by some of the biggest names in fashion, including, I'll just name a few, Isaac Mizrahi, Liz Claiborne, Banana Republic. You're amazing. You relaunched your namesake collection in the fall of 2021 with designs that continue to embody her bold, iconic, glamorous spirit. That is you to a T.
I love you. I love hearing that.
That is you
that
to
voice
a T.
too.
Yeah. No, it is.
Thank you.
You are.
Lovely introduction. Thanks for having me.
Oh my God.
Ladies.
Thank you for having us. And so we want to just jump in and talk about your work, your beautiful designs, your lifestyle, and your relationship with alcohol. So, just a little bit to begin with.
Great. And, I want to learn a lot from you ladies too, because whatever you're doing, I tell you that all the time when I see you in town, I'm like, I want to be doing that. So I think this is going to be a great learning experience too.
And that's what we're about. We're about just starting these conversations. This movement is very new. Sobriety in the way that we're doing it. Modern sobriety, rebranding sobriety. That is our mission. And one of the things when Erin was talking about you is she met you at you guys have known each other for a long time, yeah. But saw you at a non-alcoholic event and was like, oh my gosh, like what were you doing there? And it was so nice because it's just so nice to see these events pop up and then to have these conversations of like, we don't need alcohol to have fun and to socialize. And yeah. I'm sure in your field, you get, you socialize probably a lot.
You do.
And, how do you navigate not drinking at events? Like, do you, carry a mocktail or do you say anything? I mean, I love your take on it that you don't even think it's a big deal because most women think it's such a big deal to go to an event and they don't know what to say when they asked if they're drinking and they don't want to drink. Like that
it depends
pressure.
On the mood for me. Well, first of all, I want to call out, we saw each other at Ange DeLeo's house for the softball.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Which was great, which was fantastic because they hosted this wonderful event. It was all like, these non-alcoholic infused beverages that had adaptogenics and all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, this has no alcohol. It tastes great. And it was a wonderful event and a lot of people, that was also on the show. So a lot of people, there was a lot of buzz from that. And I think that's wonderful. For me, it's more exploratory. And, I always felt when you're younger and you drink and you live that feeling and then you have that buzz, but you could still wake up the next day and go to work and have kids and you could deal with work with a hangover and stuff. As I got older, my body, all of our, we all change. We're women, right? Going through all the things, it just hit me differently. Who doesn't love feeling euphoric or a buzz or taking a sip of something and then feeling great, but then for the next 3 days to feel completely like you can't function, you can't take care of your kids. For me, I would get a migraine and I can't afford to lay down for 3 days with, because with me, it's like, I can't see the light. I want, I get nauseous. So I'm like, that was definitely a trigger for me. So what I've learned in social events, especially ones that I'm working, I'll have a seltzer. I'll have drink water, I'm on and I have to be on and I have to be professional, but you also want to be fun, right? So it's that balance of why is there such a stigma that if you're not drinking, you're not fun, right? Because I have to say something to go back in the day. When I grew up, I was a raver. It was a rave era. And these kids, we would go out and we would party and everyone was doing drugs. Except for me. And they would be like, what are you on? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm on life. I'm dancing. D-Light is here. And people are like, I'll have what she's having. And I'm like, but that was just my essence. I was a kid and all these other kids were taking ecstasy and all this stuff and experimenting. I never felt the need to do it. Mm-hmm. And I always just kind of went with my own vibe, right? And I think we talked about this earlier, but I think as you get older, you realize that that's a confidence that you kind of just, you grow into, right? Not saying that I never drink. When I do, I know how to have one or none, or make sure I eat, have seltzer in between. But I also see what happens to people when they do drink and how it changes their persona. And
It's not pretty.
it's sometimes not fun.
It's not attractive. And as you're saying that, you're so gorgeous, so sophisticated that what's the point of alcohol? And I think the more we have this conversation, and you just said you're having fun on your own at a young age, you realize I am the fun. I go to a party and show up and dance because it's vibrational. You are that vibe, and it increases when you're around like fun music and people. You don't need it. But culture tells you, especially like our age or this demographic, it's like, what are you drinking? Do you need a drink? It's like shoved in your face. And for me, I didn't think about it. Like I grew up here, came back here. I never really questioned it until I started having issues with my, coping mechanism where I was feeling and looking like shit. And I'm like, something's not right here. My mental health is tanking. I'm physically not where I want to be. Like, what is going on? And then, did the deep dive into the research of like what alcohol is, what it's doing to our bodies, what it's doing to our brains. It's really not, there's not one benefit to it. And like, we're trying to like breaking the stigma of the coolest thing is not to drink. I love that people know I don't want to ever be associated with alcohol because I want to be an example of like, oh my God, like there's so many other great things to drink and there's too much life to live.
Right.
You commented on like, you can't be hungover. You built this gorgeous business and I've watched it like for so many years now. And you just continue to, I would say like take more territory. Like you just expand. And you are like everywhere now and just getting better and better. Now, can you imagine trying to do that with a hangover? And not to mention you have a young child.
Yes, right.
And a beautiful marriage. And so
Thank
like the idea of like you can have it all, you can, but not if you're hungover.
Right.
Like, so was there ever a time where you went out to a party and you had like one too many and the next day you had to work, you had to be a mom, that you were like, all right, this has to change? Or did you always have this mindset of moderation?
I think I've always had this mindset of moderation as an adult.
Okay. Fair.
Before kids, before husband, we would work late in the city, we would drink, we would stay out late, you know what I'm saying? And again, I just think our bodies were different. We were just built to just get up and go, right? Even if we didn't feel great. As you get older, that gets harder. Obviously, you have more responsibilities. You can't just kind of, for me, I just can't do that because I have friends that I'm like, I don't know how you're working out the next day at 6 a.m., but God bless you. God bless you. But like, I have a trip to the bathroom all morning, like vomiting. And it's just alcohol hits people differently.
That's a healthy response. I just want to point that out. That's healthy. So an
get
alcoholic
rid of
like
it.
me, my body said I would work out at 6 a.m. and like just
I would be
push
like
through.
you.
That's healthy.
I would be like you in the bathroom.
In the bathroom.
All day. Yeah.
You should be because it's a neurotoxin in your body saying either it stays in and we're going to die, our organs are going to be, little by little you're killing yourself, or I'm going to get it out because it's poison. Your body recognizes that as poison. It's doing its job. So that's what a hangover is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I told you I was going to learn a lot.
But I love that. So it seems to me like you have moments of reflection. And I hope that every podcast episode is a chance for a woman to reflect on different things, to reflect on lifestyle, reflect, if things are working or not working. Because I see a lot of people doing the same thing. They want different results, but they're doing the same thing.
Right.
And just kind of getting mad at life, getting mad at different external situations. And I always say, alcohol, when we remove it, things just become a little bit more effortless because you're not hungover. You're not wasting time. You're not killing your cells and brain. And, you can think clearer. You can connect a little bit deeper. There's like so many benefits. But, those moments of reflection as, becoming a woman and of age to just say, you know what, maybe this isn't perhaps
Isn't-
working.
It's not fun.
And let me
to
take
feel like that.
yeah, and let me take my skills, like those, what you described, you know, being at raves and everyone doing drugs, that's a skill of like a confidence and just sureness in yourself. And you took that into your womanhood and you're using it for good and for yourself and for your business and for your marriage and for your kids. And so it's so beautiful, but we can all do that, you know, and I like to think that we can all sort of borrow each other's mindset. And it's like, you know, sometimes people feel like they're stuck and they're fixed in a certain way, but we're not. So
Right.
if you can share any mindset tips or different ways to look at it, the big thing I think for our audience is they're in relationships, you know, a lot of successful women, they go and socialize, and it's like they revert back to this, like, I need to please others. I need to make others feel comfortable. And so I'll do whatever I have to do, even if I have to drink or whatever, you know, and they can't say no. So it's like, how can they flip the switch and just step into their power? Because a lot of women that listen to this don't want to drink, but the peer pressure
feel
is
peer
so
pressure.
real.
So they feel but this is interesting. Again, I'm learning. They feel peer pressure because everyone else is drinking,
Yeah.
or because they want to feel fun, or
Both.
loose, or
A little bit of everything.
like comfortable. It's courage, liquid
combo.
courage.
And it's a habit.
It's a habit, but it's also like cultural,
Yes.
right? Too. I do see a shift. There's one thing that you said something once that stuck with me, and it was when we first met, and you were like, alcohol, like when people are drinking alcohol, it's a slow suicide. And I'm probably butchering however you said it, because you said it more eloquently, but I never thought of it like that, because I was like, oh, like a little here, a little there. But then it's like, I know people who,
Yes.
you know, have problems and they may not realize it or not. And I'm like, aha.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's like a slow suicide. Exactly. That stuck with me. That was what, 5 years ago when I met you at Erica's.
Of course.
And hi, thank you, Erica, for beautiful faces.
Yes.
But yeah, that was one thing that stuck with me. But I also have to say that I feel culturally, back to the party and softball and everything, things are shifting a bit, where people are like, you don't have to drink. If you go out, there's mocktails, there's adaptogenic drinks, there's mushroom infused drinks, and like natural ingredients that make you feel good if you feel like you need to have that
And a
quote unquote
boost.
spirit.
A boost. And that
boost.
party was so gorgeous, by the way.
But that party is rare. And so
True,
95% of places that you go into are still pushing alcohol, whether it's, you know, social events. We just did a podcast episode on what kind of events that you were talking about, the cancer
Don't
event.
even get me started. I'm still in a bad mood about this.
Yeah, it was a mental-
So salty. I've been so salty. You wait till you listen to this. I'm like flipping tables. If you're going to have a mental health awareness, do not serve alcohol. It's a depressant. Alcohol is a depressant. If you're depressed and you're drinking a depressant, guess what? You'll be more depressed. If you're not depressed and you drink alcohol, guess what? You'll be depressed. Guess who loves this whole cycle? The people who make the drugs. So that is fantastic to have an event about mental health awareness when you are drinking a depressant that's also putting holes in your gut microbiome. Do you know your gut microbiome is where the building blocks for your neurotransmitters, your feel-good chemicals, your own pharmacy is manufactured? Holes in your gut, depressant, so then you are effing yourself. That makes me irate, actually.
It's interesting because I was at that event.
I know you are. I know you are.
And I drank 2 martinis that night, and I'm like, whoa, who am I? Espresso martini, so then I didn't sleep. But you know what's funny? I didn't even think of that.
What?
Nobody does.
Because we're not educated, right? Like you're at a social event, and that's happened to be a fundraiser for mental health, and you know, you want to keep things light and airy, and there's an open bar. And
But how is that making things light and airy?
it's interesting,
right?
I mean, I didn't think about that until you just mentioned it.
I'm so upset by this.
Yeah.
Like I really this is why Michaela and I are on this mission together, because it's education. People don't know what they don't know. I didn't know. I thought I was battling depression. I was battling a neurotoxin in my brain. Thanks, baby. I love you. I love you. Thank you. We're like a married couple. I'm like, I love you. But I'm so happy you brought that up, and I'm so happy that like we're having this conversation, because you're like, oh yeah, I didn't think about it, because we have been programmed, culturally programmed to think alcohol and events, even when we're talking about the brain. So when we're talking about mental health, they're talking about brain health. The alcohol is a neurotoxin. It's neurotoxic. So meaning it's going to attack your brain, your operating system. That's just true. Like that's just Bible. Like it's not me saying it. So we're going to drink a neurotoxin to talk about brain health. That is wild to me. And then we're going to raise all this money and never really live in the solution. The solution is put down the drink, talk about how you're feeling. Can we boost our gut health to boost our neurotransmitters? Can we get sunlight, cold plunges, connection, beauty? And guess what? Something like this, like your jewelry, is great for mental health. It's beauty. It's aesthetics. It's when you put on this, I put this on and I elevated my style, which I want to switch a little bit because I can go crazy on the mental health. I want to know what inspires you? Your pieces are so beautiful, so glamorous. Like, where did your inspiration come from? And did you know, like, as a little kid, I want to be a designer. I want to make jewelry, or I want to make, like, what was your, like, first moments of, like, I'm going to do this? And, like, where do you pull your inspiration from?
It's kind of funny. As a kid, my parents would always buy me jewelry for a birthday or something, and I hated it. I was like, why do I have to have gold? I want toys. I want that. I wanted silver. You know, it was funny that, you know, just culturally, like, you'll get like your name in diamonds when you live in Staten Island. I'm like, what am I going to do with this? Where am I going? Like the ring, you know. But my mom, who still is very glamorous, she would always be dressed with like gold jewelry, makeup, you know, hat, driving us to school. Like, it was just a different time, like 80s, right? Early 80s. And I think that's always kind of stuck with me. I knew I was going to do something in the arts. I was also like a little embarrassed by that because kids would say, you're going to be an artist. You're going to be a starving artist. I didn't know where the art was going to take me, but I knew that I had that creative spirit. It kind of came from my grandmother was a painter, and I felt like that was something I was really good at. And as I got older, I started falling in love with fashion. You know, you're a teenager in high school, and then I started taking lessons at FIT and Parsons, and I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a fashion designer. So I studied apparel, and I did not study jewelry. But somehow, while I was designing the whole look, I would add the necklace and the earring and the shoe and the handbag. And one of my teachers called out and she was like, you're really a great accessory designer. And again, I was like, what are you talking about? I'm going to be the next Donna Karan. I want like apparel. I want the whole thing. She was like, no, seriously, you have like an attention to detail that's not, they weren't teaching that either. Like, they weren't teaching jewelry design, or, you know, you could take electives in shoe design and handbag. So in one of my classes, I was supposed to knit a scarf, and I turned it into a handbag. And that bag made its way onto Sex and the City. Sarah Jessica Parker wore the bag in multiple seasons. The bag I made in Parsons.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's how I got my start in the industry. Dude.
How long ago was that?
That was late 90s. So I happened to wear the bag and a whole outfit that I put together while I was at an event. I met Patricia Field. You know, living in New York City, you have these opportunities. It was a different time. People went out and they socialized in person. Imagine that. Right? And I met Patricia Fields, and she loved all the crazy stuff I was wearing. I told her I'm a designer. And then the next day she invited me over to show her all the things I was doing in school. And she started selecting things for Sarah Jessica Parker. And she's like, do you want a cigarette? And I was like, sure. I don't even smoke cigarettes. And I was like, I'm in Patricia Field's house. Cool. Smoking thing. You want coffee? Sure. I never drank coffee because I can't do caffeine. Talk about, I'm a rare bird. I drank a cup of coffee. I'm smoking a cigarette. She's looking at my stuff. She's like, we'll put this on. And she pulled things for the show during that meeting. And then she got on the phone with one of her people. She's like, I got a young designer here. You know, I'm pulling things for the show. I want you to meet. She was very much, and she still is, that person who sees the talent and puts it with like a big wig like Manolo Blahnik or Gucci or, you know, Saint Laurent. And that was the moment I knew something was going to happen. Like, this was my fashion moment, and I needed to think quick. Yeah. And I put a line together, and I went to Henry Bendel's. And that's kind of how the line started. But there was always like a passion for creativity and fashion, and then like beautiful women and dressing beautiful women or men or anyone in between. Yeah. But that's really where it all kind of started.
There's so many lessons in that. It's like, it shows how you can pivot beautifully. It shows that you can take direction. You're not just stuck on, oh my gosh, I'm just going to do clothes and be a designer. You know, you were able to just say, I'm a designer, to somebody that's so influential, which most people get really scared to say who they want to be or who they are. And so like all of those, like, that's just such great takeaways.
Thank you. And I think that's something that we all need to do, is just kind of like
own it,
say it and own it.
Like when I say, like, I mean, we talk about this a lot in our community. I ask this question a lot. Do you identify as a sober, beautiful, fun woman? You know, and it's like, it takes women back to like, no, I've never thought about it. I want to stop drinking, but I don't identify as a sober woman.
Same.
And when I say sober, I mean sober in our sense. Like the way we live sobriety is very, very, very different from the way general
Yeah, I think it needs a new word. I feel like it's a stigma, and I feel like it's a label, right? Like when I see you beautiful women, I say when I see you around town and everything, you're doing healthy things. You're doing things to elevate your life and your lifestyle, working out, getting juices, like eating right. Like that to me is more inspiring than, and seeing women like you that have confidence, and you can go out and you can be yourself, and you don't feel like you need to do anything to have that confidence.
It's inner work though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
it's a lot of work. Yeah.
It's modern. So we always say too, like it's modern sobriety, rebranding sobriety, and kind of, I'm thinking about your mom, because I love that whole depiction, and like that it just brings me back. 'Cause my mom's very similar, and I think they're so elegant and timeless. But you've modernized what your mom was doing for all of us, and we're modernizing sobriety. Like you can throw on your like amazing cuffs, you pop your collar, put some lipstick on, and you're gonna go to school and you feel gorgeous. Modern sobriety is, we're not drinking because life is so glorious, and I want to look more beautiful as I age. I want to have more energy. I want to have more life, more vitality, and we get time to do these things. And we were laughing too, when you put down the drink, you have more money to like buy cool jewelry and have a bigger life than wasting money on clearly getting wasted. So it's modernizing, it's shifting, and it's making it easy. Something I love about you and your pieces, I popped this on and I felt like a different person. Like you make it easy for women to feel really sexy and cool in an instant, because they're borrowing you. Like you're like, here, put this on. And it's like your energy, your beauty comes through, which that speaks to your talent and your creativity, which I just love.
Thank you.
Anything for the future? Like we're having like your amazing pieces, but anything that you're excited to create, any new projects, goals, world domination?
I mean, since we relaunched in 2021, which was during COVID, we were direct to market, DTC. So we were just a website and a dream, right? And I have to say, this is the time where like my 20 years of fashion, like I really had to cultivate those, all those people that I've just had throughout my network of people were really supportive. The stylists, the other designers that wanted a partner just kind of came out of the woodwork. So that was really great. And now we're at a phase where we're growing, we're expanding. We're in Nordstrom, we are in Anthropologie, and I'm drop shipping, and I'm doing a lot of different things, and we're investing in like we're competing with bigger brands. So like we're investing in like social media marketing and all of the other things you have to do as a brand to stay afloat. We partner with great brands like St. John, who we like design jewelry for them, and they sell in their stores. And like, that's another great marketing piece. We're having a ton of celebrities wear our pieces, which I'm thrilled. And
I saw you guys have to check out our Instagram page,
like J-Lo, like some really big ones, which I'm like really excited about. But every week there's like a new celebrity. And I think because the pieces, they are large, they're statement, they're glamorous. Again, it's like you could be wearing a tube top and you put like the choker on and you feel like it elevates your look, or like this great piece. And I tend to dress very classic, but then I always layer on those pieces that make me feel more dressed up, more glamorous, more refined. And that's what jewelry does. And I love it because you could be wearing a t-shirt and then put these like diamond studded pave earrings on and you feel like $1 million. So it's a easy way to just elevate your look.
Yeah, and that's another piece of our brand is we love beauty and we love confidence and we love ways that we can elevate our frequency. And I do believe nice piece of jewelry can do that. And it is like a completion of your outfit. So can you share with us some of your styling tips? I mean, you shared a little bit about like, you know, you can wear a simple tank, put on a, you know, chunky bracelet or earrings or anything like that. Any other tips that women can take?
Well, like I love, and I'll work off of what you guys are doing. Like it's all about balance, right? Like you have some great arm candy happening. You have a nice clean. I feel like when I put the jewelry on last, right? So for me, it's like whatever I'm wearing, then the jewelry is like the icing on the cake, right? So like you've got a great layer here, but what's nice, you don't have earring. And you don't need an earring. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you have all of this fun happening here, and then you have the arm party. The same with you, it's balance. It's like you have the watch with the belt, and then a great statement piece, and like the perfect hoop that's not going to conflict with the statement piece, right?
And then you have a nice
I have
chunky.
a lot going on, but
but I love it. It goes.
So sometimes it's like I need to model all the pieces, but again, a larger earring with like something delicate, which is newer for me to do like the delicate pieces that like you can layer. Right. Thank you. I play tennis in this too. Pretty. And I always need like a Wonder Woman cuff.
Yes.
Wonder Woman cuff. I like that.
I've designed Wonder Woman cuffs. It's like, it's funny. It's like,
I'm obsessed with Wonder Woman.
How about a Sober Woman cuff?
Like, yes. But like this cuff I wear all the time, and I engineered it so you can like work and type and do all the things that you need to do to be like a woman, right? And then again, just like layering pieces, but it's the balance, right? It's just, and then again, clean.
And it's almost like different textures, because I'm seeing like little like, you know, texture here, then it's smooth, then you have the diamonds, then you have a solid, like.
But it all works because we use the 14 karat gold, and it's like the same color throughout. And then if we're gonna do like a rhodium, I had this in rhodium too somewhere, but you know, some people want the silver tone. We do that too, but you can still mix and match. It goes. It's, you know, I don't do a lot in color, and people are like, oh, you need to, but I'm not color. Like wear the color if you want, but accentuate with the jewelry because it's classic. You're going to reach for that piece 10 years from now.
Oh.
And I love the choker.
I'm obsessed with this. This is my holiday look. I'm so excited.
It's so good. And this is such a wonderful statement. I mean, you could wear that with a white t-shirt and a leather jacket.
Right. Or a dress.
Or a dress.
Black dress.
You could even make it more of a choker, because there's like, you know, you could put it different in a tighter,
levels.
Different levels, and hair up with a gown.
Right.
A lot of versatility, which is I designed for a lot of different brands. And with some of the brands, we had to do 200, 300 SKUs a season. Like, people don't need this much stuff, right? It has to be good stuff that you're going to want to keep and wear and have for the future to wear. It's timeless, it's elegant, it's refined. Like, you could wear this with a black leather jacket and have like a rock and roll look, or then put it on with the silk gown, and it's the same necklace, but it's going to take you to those different places and who you want to be at that moment, right? You have a black tie event, or you're just like going out with your husband, right? Or
And how do you feel about mixing metals?
a lot of people have this thing about mixing metals.
Like leather jackets usually have silver, right? So sometimes I'm like,
but you can still do the gold if it's clean. It's clean gold. It's not like we have gemstones or colors that are throwing you off. I think when the styling is clean, it's totally okay. I even have some pieces that have the mixed metal on the same piece. It's like a gold top with like, you know, a silver, you know, bottom. And it's just, when it's clean, there's something very chic and sophisticated about it.
Yeah, adds more dimension too. Yeah. So I want to pivot a little bit. So this is beauty, and I want to go a little bit deeper into beauty, because we just walked into your beautiful studio, and you're like, oh, I just came from yoga. So what are because you're obviously beautiful. You are beyond successful. Like, you have so many amazing things going for you. I would love to know, like, what is your routine besides, you know, when you go to events, like perhaps not choosing to drink or things like that? What are some other ways that you keep your mind sharp, your creativity sparked, your body vibrant and feeling good, and anything like that?
I love this conversation, because especially in the change of weather, I feel all the feels. And I always did, even as a kid, and I didn't know what this was, but I'm always moving. And when I'm not moving, I don't feel right. If I'm not busy, I don't feel right. So for me, it was like, even though we had a tight schedule this morning, I'm like, I'm going to yoga because I feel better when I do that. And sometimes you put yourself last. You're like, but I got to do this and I got to do that. I'm like, nope. This is a newer thing as I've grown. You see what works for you and what doesn't. I'm like, I have to prioritize my morning routine. And that's doing, eating healthy, which again, I wouldn't eat breakfast in the morning. I'd run out the door. I've got my kid. I'd come back here and I'm like, work. I'm going to be working. It's oh, do I need to do something?
No, I would tell you.
I'm like, ooh. But for me, like my morning routine on a good morning, it's getting up, obviously drinking water. That's so important. When I don't have water, I feel so parched. Lemon water, obviously the best. Eating something with protein, getting my kid out the door. If I can't make the gym, I'll go for a walk. I need to be outside. I need that sunlight. Today I did yoga, which was amazing and a blessing. I was able to do that, come back here, be ready for the podcast. And, it's also like, you're very organized. You blow me away. I think I'm organized. I'm like the Post-it girl. I write everything down. Yeah. Right? Okay. I'm like, I'm going to do, and if I don't, you find yourself scrolling. Yeah. You find yourself wasting time. Someone else once asked me, they were like, how do you do all these things? And I'm like, I don't like to waste time. And I try to find those things in my life that are like time suckers or time wasters, and I try to eliminate them. And it's hard because I work off my phone. I told you earlier. So, you find yourself checking emails and then you're like, wait, Instagram, and then that's also part of work. But it's also like, it traps you. It kind of, it pulls you into this hole. So again, it's prioritizing working out or doing something for myself in the morning, whether it's a walk, a nice breakfast. And then at night, I make sure I go to bed early. And early could be like 10 o'clock. Yeah. But again, if you're on your phone scrolling for 2 hours, like you're in a hole. I'm like, why did I just watch Britney Spears dance for an hour? An hour? Like, I could have been sleeping.
I love her.
I love her, but like I'm watching her dance for an hour. Like, where did I just go?
It's an addictive loop.
It's another addictive loop. But here's another thing which we can tie back in. There are other ways of people, that you fall into these. Yes. That's a good point.
So many ways. Yeah. I mean, there's food, there's shopping, there's, scrolling. But one question I have for you, because it seems to me like in order for you to do what you do, you have to socialize a lot and be around a lot of people and also a lot of different energies. And we discuss this a lot because there are families, then there's, social gatherings and there's friends and then there's distant, like there's a lot going on. Tell us about like your, like that spiritual, emotional hygiene. Do you have that, or do you have that in place, or do you just do it naturally? Because I feel like what you're doing it's such a beautiful, large scale that you need that protection. You need the mindset. You need to know who to surround yourself with and who not. And I think we can all sort of get something from that because we're all around, we're always around people.
Well, I feel like it's being aware. Number one, because sometimes you're in a situation, you're like, I don't like the way I feel. And it could be like someone's energy, or it could be and sometimes I'm conscious about it. And sometimes I'm like, why do I feel so burnt out? Like I was just talking to someone for 20 minutes, like I just felt like drained. And I've learned a lot about myself as I got older with energy and how I feel around certain people. And I've always tried to put myself around people who are uplifting and positive. And, sometimes, you'll be on the phone and sometimes it's me too. I catch myself, I'm complaining. I'm like, I don't want to talk to me. Like, like, sorry, Mom, that I just complained to you for an hour on the phone. But like, it's as you get older, you just become a little bit more aware of this, like where I wish I kind of had more of those skills as I was growing up or, as a young adult. And another thing I've also learned by trial and error is that in a lot of family situations, I choose not to drink and I encourage others not to drink.
How do you do that?
I tell my husband. I'm like, I'm not drinking, and this is not like this is not that event, But listen, it is everyone's different. It's like even in my family, my dad's he loves his Prosecco, right? He's like, Prosecco. We're like, what, Dad? You're saying it wrong. So like he has his moments where it's like he's got to drink his Prosecco and he's like the happiest man, but then he's like, he hates the way he feels the next day. He feels depressed, and then he's like, I'm not drinking. And like he's always told me in social situations, never drink. And this is never drink.
Big takeaway. Like,
Never
wow.
drink.
Well, and because it is an absolute superpower if you can go out and socialize and you're running a business and you are your brand. So when you show up, you are Christina Caruso. So people are equating you and this. And so when you're not drinking, you're gorgeous, you're wearing your jewelry. Can you imagine the impact, the influence, the wow factor versus one eye open, drinking, slurring, or what, even like
missing opportunities,
not making the eye contact, and you're not showing up authentically. And that's the thing, like you are this, shoulders back, you're not going to show up as you. I feel like now the sober me, I show up in my full authenticity and my power, and I want to go and see, okay, God, I'm here for a purpose. Who am I called to talk to? Who can I be a blessing to? Who am I, meant to connect with in this moment for a greater purpose and glory than my own? I missed all of that when I was drinking. I got the drink. That's all you get when you drink, is you get the drink and you get to numb out, but you're not really fully present. And there's so many miracles and so much beauty and so much wonder and joy when you're not drinking in social situations, where we have to flip that script of you're missing out when you drink. You're missing everything when you drink. Like that's the truth. And the coolest thing is to be the sober one in the room and just look around. And sometimes I just take a step back and I'm like, wow, but by the grace of God, I get to be sober here. And I get to love it. And I get to choose when I show up, how I leave, how I am presenting. And those difficult people, like we talk about this, I have the power to walk away. When you're drinking, you get into you're stuck, and you're going to have another drink, and you're going to stay in that really dark conversation, probably say something that you're going to wish you didn't. So there's so much power and beauty and grace in sobriety, and it's a superpower that we're lucky. And I love that your dad said in social situations, I would tell my kids the same thing. Don't drink, show up, don't drink, and see what happens. And for anyone curious too, watch the show. Like if you're not sure about this lifestyle, maybe take a night off and just watch. I think you would be blown away at what you see, like if you're newly in this arena, and what really goes on when people drink.
And the other piece, we were talking to Erica last week, and we had this discussion how we don't think we know anyone that can truly just leave alcohol. Like there's people who could be like, oh, I don't have to drink, but they drink.
Yeah, that's me. I don't have to, but again.
No, but I'm saying like if you tell somebody, okay, just don't drink for a year, don't drink for 2 years, like can they actually do that? So people think that they are not addicted to alcohol because they can go a week or two or a month.
Or like dry January.
And that was me. Like I was very into wellness in most of my 20s. And I would live these dual lives. I was a yoga teacher, wellness, very, eating healthy. And then the other side was like, I was in the city, I was at Bagatelle, and I was out and just drinking. And so living these two things. And there were like years where I didn't drink because I was like, oh, I'm just like more on this path.
Right.
But then this path would call and, hey, do you want to go to Ibiza? Do you want to go here? And
Right.
it was like, yeah, sure.
Fun.
And everything would just kind of like go out the door. And all of the work that I cultivated on my inner self and spiritually would just kind of like go out the door. So it wasn't until I was like, no, I don't want to drink because I want to go deeper in the spirituality. I want to go deeper in my business, into my self-development, and I want to see how wildly good life can get, because I could see how alcohol would chip away at my body, at my mind, at my life, at my finances,
Skin, everything,
and it's like, it's just, that's like another thing to notice, because most people, it's funny, you tell them you don't drink, and they're like, well, I don't have a problem with alcohol. I only drink on a week, or I just drink before this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, whatever it is, but that's like a whole nother conversation. Yeah. But it's worth noting, because I think people need to take a deeper look at why they are doing it. And we ask like grown adults, and they're like, I'm just doing it because I I don't want to feel left out, or I don't want. So there's so many different reasons.
I think a lot of us don't even reflect on why.
Oh, so why?
And it's funny because
So why?
I mean, for me, if I'm not drinking,
Tell me.
listen, if I have a drink, people still count it as not drinking, right?
Right, it's so true.
But
That's so true.
And sometimes I'm like, I'll have, the toast, the glass of champagne, or sometimes I'll have the 2 martinis. Trust me. But again, it's funny that you're not questioning yourself, like, why not, right? It's like, for me, I'm like, I know I don't want to feel a certain way the next day, so I'm going to drink seltzer, or I'm going to watch what I'm...
We don't question it because it's just the same as if a parent gave a child something and the child's looking at the parent with complete trust. Culturally, we've been programmed. I never questioned it because it was like parent culture saying, this is what we do. This is what sophisticated adults do. This is how we socialize. This is how we have fun.
Let loose.
You deserve it.
yeah,
I heard it all the time. Erin, oh my God, you deserve it.
Have
You're
a
so
drink.
stressed. You're running around. You're such a great mom. Here, have a glass of wine, which would be like 3 bottles for me because it's a highly addictive substance. And I used it to cope with like stress. Like I'm a middle child. I read energies for a living. Like I literally can feel everything and I want to make everyone comfortable. And so when I had wine, I was like, oh my God, I'm kind of off. I'm off duty. I can relax.
It turned you off.
But because it numbed me. It's a depressant. And it literally did turn me off.
Disconnects you.
Well, it's numbing you to the point of like you could go under for surgery. We have to realize like what it's doing. It's shutting your body down. And the blackouts, what you would get to eventually if you drink enough, is your body shutting down so you stop doing so much damage to your internal organs so that you don't die. So your body says, we can't handle this. We've got to shut you down. So we start pumping this out of your system.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what a blackout
We gotta
is.
teach teenagers that, because that's when you experience that when you're
All the time.
when you're young and
your brain is developing.
and you're having fun and you're at a party and you drink until you're puking in someone's bathtub.
Right. Right.
Or falling asleep in it.
And you're like, and this is fun. So that's why we're hoping, God willing, 1% at a time, that we're changing that. Like, that's not fun. Blacking out's not fun. This is fun. Creating a jewelry line is fun. Being like, feeling beautiful, sophisticated, getting dressed, that's fun. Having these conversations, that's fun. Showing up authentically, that's fun. Having fun with your husband without alcohol, being present for your child, that's what we want to normalize, not the, oh my God, I blacked out, or I had too many drinks at this event. There's going to be hundreds and hundreds of events. There's going to be so many opportunities where people are going to be passing you a neurotoxin. Next time you go fill up your car, think, do I want this same chemical compound that I'm putting to run machinery into my tissue, my porous tissue, my beautiful organs? Do I want ethanol alcohol? Because it's the same. But the only difference is, Christina, there's more ethanol percentage-wise in the drinks than the car. Wow. And that is why we have the cancer rates and the disease and the depression. And so we have to start questioning, but this is fun. I want to live. Anyway, flipping the script, and you are so inspiring, and I love. Thank you. You can be just like Christina, not just start questioning, start drinking less, and
I'm learning so much from you, because I am one of those who I don't I'm going to think more now before I choose. Sometimes it was just my own. I just don't like the way it makes me feel, but I didn't know the science behind it. Is what I'm saying. The science.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of people. I'm finding now with some of my closer friends, we're starting to have these conversations because we're like, we want to play tennis in the morning, or we want to do something. So we're like, we're not gonna, people are being a little more conscious. But I think with these podcasts are great because you're really I learned so much today, and I think just making it second nature to understand.
And I think for anyone that is on that beginner path of starting to question it, just question it okay, why would I pick up a drink in this situation? Is it because everyone else is drinking? Is it because I'm stressed and overwhelmed and I didn't, have my morning routine? Is it this? And so it's what can we fill in this moment? Because that urge, even if you're not addicted, it's there. There's a reason why we pick up, because it's automatic. Sometimes we don't even think about it.
Right.
And there's no judgment, because I've done it for so long and we didn't know the information. But now I always recommend take a...
That was my chair, guys. Leather seats. Leather.
Yes.
You know, like in the moment, taking a step back and just asking yourself that. And you don't even have to discuss that with anyone. It's between you and your higher power. And then just say, do I actually need it? And if I think I do, what do I actually need? Because it's never the alcohol that we need. And there's a way that we can get what we actually need. Perhaps it's a moment to yourself. Perhaps it's an affirmation. Perhaps it's going to the bathroom and just like
Being alone.
Giving yourself a hug, like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
getting into your body, like
Yeah.
feeling your feet, like all of these, you know, inner work sort of tools that we share about and we harp on literally all day, every day. It's like the work. There was a woman who's in our mastermind and she's been part of different communities. And she was like, you know, they're all talking about the work, but like, she's like, I never knew what the work is until I actually started working with you guys. She was like, you guys live it, you breathe it. And that's why when I go to places, alcohol is not even in my mind. It's not even in my orbit. You know, we're all energy, right? And so it's like we have different things swirling throughout and we can remove certain things.
Yeah.
You know, it's a conscious thing. And like I said, nothing is solid. Everything is always moving, but we choose every single day what we want to hold on to. And so it's just an invitation, an open conversation for every single human, not just women. You know, we have partners that sometimes, you know, my partner stopped drinking. He hasn't drank in 6 months, not because I told him to, but he sees the benefits and we work out and we like that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And he loves the benefits of it.
Yeah.
Like he plays baseball now, like he's like 20 years old, you know?
Great.
And so, you know, there's so many things, but even I think it's our duty to ask people in our life these questions too. So first of all, we have to like clean up our stuff and ask ourselves questions.
Right.
And then
And that's a
without
process.
judgment, it is a process, but without judgment, it's
Learning.
the awareness, which you do have, and you're open. So that those are the qualities that will get you to be that sober, vibrant, sexy, happy woman, healthy. But okay, so now we're filled up. Now we have that. And we have to figure out how to navigate without judgment to our partners and to our family members. Some people we won't be able to change, but just asking them like, why are you drinking? And just leaving it at that because they're not asking the question. So perhaps it's, you know, we can from like a different place and just be like, oh, okay, you know, and that's it. And just like perhaps like that can spark like another neural pathway in their brain. Like, oh, I actually haven't thought about it. I don't need it, you know?
So you're so good. I need you.
You're both so good.
I'm so
And
like,
eloquent.
why are you drinking? I know.
Why do I have a squeaky chair? I again, just like growing up in the 80s and whatnot, and like, I think a lot of people just would turn to alcohol, not knowing like, you know, the effects, but as an escape, right?
Absolutely.
Even if it's just wine with dinner, right? It's like, it's an escape. But what can you recommend? Now I'm going to ask you ladies questions, right? But like, you know, you guys, you're healthy, you're always working out, you're doing all these great things, but like in social situations, like what do you ladies do?
Oh,
As far as like not
drinking. So I'm going to go back to when I first got sober. So it's more relevant because now in social situations, I might as well have it tattooed on my face. Like I love sobriety. And I'm like, and I'm open to that conversation. And really my passion is to educate so people can make their own decisions and to be empowered. But early sobriety, I would fake it till I made it. So I would go out. I would have the bartender make me a very clean mocktail. If there was something on the menu, it was very rare. That was like 6 years ago. It's getting more, and with Soft Bar and Angela, which incredible. So I'd have my drink in a beautiful glass. I would always go prepared with a couple of questions because it's interesting. When people drink, they're not really asking questions because they're losing themselves. They're losing their ability to connect. And so I wanted to make sure I'm sitting there sober. I'm going to navigate the conversation and have questions. So I would have like 3 or 5 really like solid questions in my back pocket. And I went out a lot. And I was also navigating a divorce. So I was going out by myself to a lot of things. And that was also hard. Beautiful drink in hand, beautiful glass, questions ready. And I always drove, so I knew like, okay, when I'm ready to go home, I'm going to go home. But it was the work before I got there that made that night enjoyable. It was my prayer, gratitude, spiritual connection. It was I have this shower routine. I do a million things that I love. I love to sweat, connecting with other sober, wonderful humans, staying in gratitude, making sure I'm not too tired, making sure I'm hydrated, making sure I'm eating good food, so that when you go out socially, drinking is a solution for people. It was never my problem. I never had a problem with alcohol. I had a problem with life, and it was a solution. So now I had to be heavy on other solutions. So I went out. I was just going out to connect with you, and it didn't matter what was in my glass as long as it wasn't alcohol.
Right.
And I think with time and practice, I love sitting at bars now. I love energy. I love fun. So now it's a no-brainer, but that's what I did back then. But you have to find solutions that Michaela was talking about to life. We're drinking at life, and if you're anxious, if you're upset about something, if you feel disconnected, if you feel like you can't say your truth to someone, you're just suppressing what's inevitably going to come out with alcohol versus start talking about it.
Right.
And I have to add to that, which is so beautifully said. It's, for me, when I go out and just in general in life, like as I'm learning and doing the inner work, my biggest thing that I know I need to work on is feeling safe in my body. So that's throughout the day, whether I'm with people or without people. And so there are certain rituals or routines that I do, and they're not long. It's just a remembrance that I am safe. When I feel that emotion in my body, to look around and I'm like, wow, this is a beautiful room. And, and I'm telling my inner child, myself, like, you're fine, you're safe, you're okay. But my baseline tends to be just that, like, not feeling safe because of things in the child. And I think we all have that one thing, whether it's anxiety, whether it's feeling low or whatever. And so just noticing it. And so I would get that in certain situations of, not that I didn't feel safe when I would be in social settings, it would be more like and this is why I would turn to alcohol, is just to calm that down. But I just would not feel my best self. I don't know how to really describe it, but it can be a safety thing.
Like a social anxiety.
Feeling,
just being around the energies of other people sometimes.
Like, I would be like, I hope I'm saying the right things. I hope I look okay. Like all of these sort of things.
Just
and
through your head.
So I'm like, what I do is, like, for me, I'm not a big mocktail person. I will, every once in a while, if it's like a functional thing, I will order it, but I'll have like one. My go-to is like herbal tea, like really good quality teas, because it makes me feel safe. I hold the cup, it's warm, it's safety.
I have one every night.
Yeah, right. So we don't even realize we're doing it, but like that's what it does to me. It's like signifies like, okay, you are safe.
Okay, you're cozy. You're taken care of.
Security. It's like my security blanket. If I need extra stuff, I'll go to the bathroom. I'll do some mirror affirmations. Or if I'm mid-conversation and I have those things swirling in my head, I kind of like talk back to them. Like, no, we're okay, And so it's just that awareness that we all need to cultivate, and we can all have that. We need to be mindful of our thoughts. Your thoughts are not your enemy, and we can direct our thoughts, and we should be directing our thoughts, because our thoughts are running in so many different directions. So we need to reel it back. And so that's my tip for social settings.
And then one more thing, because then I know we're like running long, and I want to
bring it back. All the conversations.
I want to bring it back to the
jewels. I'm learning so much from you ladies, because
this is a great conversation, and I feel like I love your honesty and your openness too. So, like, thank you. You're the best. But the one thing you just touched upon, and I think we were talking about this, like dancing around it. Culturally, we don't want to be uncomfortable. So people do not like to be in discomfort. So you just, when you're in discomfort, instead of numbing, I'm safe. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to have my tea. I'm going to do mirror affirmations. If you can get to a point where you sit in discomfort and realize it's not going to destroy you, it's going to make you can do anything. And that's what sobriety has taught me. Early sobriety, when I was thinking, okay, those things that I thought I could not do, could not feel, when you just allow it to go, literally like you're going to go in through me and out. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it again, but I release that. Okay. And you just keep doing that, and it becomes a superpower. Discomfort is there it's information, and it's there to empower you, not to destroy you. And I think that's the thing, like, we have to get more comfortable with discomfort.
Yeah. That's why I took the yoga class this morning. Yes. It was the one where you're sitting, what is it? The yin, when you're sitting there for 5 minutes in discomfort. Yes. And you're feeling all the things and the thoughts and everything, and you're like, I'm releasing.
Yes. Oh my God.
But you guys have so many tools, I mean, which has taken, years to cultivate. But I don't even realize it. I'm trying, and it's, I learn from others, right? And, again, I think it takes like, time too, to kind of cultivate that. Yeah.
And just, it's awareness. It's making the unconscious conscious and just saying, wait a second. So if I'm not going to drink at this, what's something I haven't tried yet? Like, I really never meditated before getting sober. Now meditation is all day, every day, a huge part of my life, and it's not hard. Everyone can meditate.
Well, there's different forms of meditation too. It's like there's moving meditation, which there's art meditation. There's when you just sometimes when I'm like lost in something creative, I'm somewhere else, right? Like
I love that feeling.
I mean, it's not like sitting on a pillow going but you're creating. There's all different versions. I think, when I was in the city, I used to do moving meditation. I used to do S Factor, which is like in the dark pole dancing. My husband's like, "What are you doing?"
You're amazing.
but that
Can we go do that? Can we plan that?
Do that. It was all about moving meditation. No mirrors, no judgments. Like all women just watching like you and your essence, just being you, dancing however you want to dance to whatever song. But I would get lost in these movements, and that was important.
That's the true, like being intoxicated with life is what you're describing. And like, I love that when you can get lost in it and be as one with your creator, like that energy. Alcohol doesn't hold a candle to that feeling. And that's like where we want to live. Yeah. So we could talk to you all day, but we know you have a business to run and a child to pick up at 3:00. And so where's like the easiest way to connect with you, to see your gorgeous creations, to shop? The holidays are among us. Like please just
ChristinaCaruso.com and on Instagram and Christina Caruso Styles.
Amazing.
So and I'm behind every DM, every email, take the question, a styling question, a tip. I mean, I try to put those all up on Instagram too,
And what's one or two pieces that every woman should have and own?
So I mean, I have a lot of really interesting statement pieces. I feel like our ginkgo earrings have been so big that Zara knocked us off 3 times. But,
Tell them.
Sorry, Zara. Love to hate you. But pieces like this, where it's like, this is all you need. And it's like, you wear this to the holiday party or you wear it, and I have a smaller version that you could wear every day. But like, these are some of our pieces.
Why not wear these every day? Like, seriously, let's be like our grandmothers and our mothers.
And dress
let's
up.
bring it back.
There's another piece that I have on the website. It's the tassel necklace, and you can wear that so many different ways.
Okay,
and that's
I like that.
Our staple, because you can wear it as a belt, as a choker, a really.
And that's
great
on your
piece.
website.
That's
what
on
is it
our
called?
Website. The tassel necklace.
Okay.
There's a lot of great classic pieces, like, core pieces. And again, then there's just like more fun pieces, like playing with texture with our woven pieces. And then we have some sparkle for holiday. We're going to be dropping some new things. So Instagram is, I'm always on Instagram behind the scenes, sharing the newest, the latest, the greatest. Who's wearing what on the red carpet.
This is amazing. You're amazing. So inspiring.
Oh, thank you. You ladies are so inspiring.
And just to wrap this up, what's one thing for confidence for a woman?
Ooh, boom.
A little mic drop.
You have so many that you do.
Yeah.
But I don't even
I know.
It's so funny. It's like I some of it, it's like it's learned. Some of it is just in you. But I think it's just following your passion.
Yes.
If that's something, I feel like I've always was passionate about art, and I was always, it's interesting because, sometimes you don't feel confident, and the people are like, wow, you're so confident. And you're like, I am. But, it's having that passion, that drive, right? To make you get up every day and be like, okay, I'm going to be a mom and I'm going to do all these things, but I'm also like, going to create and do something positive, and
it's almost like your art speaks for your confidence in a way. It's like that's how I feel with our podcast. It's like, there are days where we don't feel the most confident,
we're human,
but we've created things, we've done our best,
right?
Every single day, and I think that's all that we can do. I think just keeping it really simple. So
putting on a great pair of earrings and red lipstick doesn't hurt either.
And nails.
Right? Getting your hair done. I mean, there's that.
Sure.
But it's the mental first, I think, right? And if you're having a not great day, then it's the self-care. I feel like for me, like I'm like, oh, I look like shit and I feel like shit. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a shower. Yeah. I want to hear about your shower ritual, but we'll take it offline. But take a shower. You always feel better after. That was another thing my dad said. If you don't feel good, you wake up, you take a shower, then you're not gonna go back to bed after that. Oh, he's crazy in a good way. Italian, 90, and still driving to Florida. But yeah, that's my dad.
He's iconic.
He's iconic. But no, it's those things. It's feeling your best, taking that shower, and then I'm gonna put on that red lipstick. Yeah. I'm gonna put on clothes that are not yoga pants, right?
And
I mean, and just feel. And I don't do that every day either. But when I do, I'm like, right. This makes me feel confident. Yes. This makes me feel good. Put on a pair of earrings. Sometimes I put on a pair of earrings and a necklace just to play tennis. I'm like, I just feel elevated, whether it's confidence elevated.
I started doing this years ago. Like I just get up, take a shower, all in that take. I put a little bit of makeup on. I like run a comb through my hair, put on some piece of jewelry, and then you feel
just human.
Feel different.
Boom and boom.
Yeah. I don't wait till like I used to, hungover. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining. And you can watch this on YouTube or you can listen on iTunes or Spotify. Make sure you follow Christina Caruso on Instagram, visit her website, and follow us on Sober Girls at 2 Sober Girls Podcast on Instagram. And join our community. If you love these sort of conversations, if you're new to this, you can try out a meeting or, join us. It's a month-to-month membership, and we have few meetings a week. We have a community chat that we are in every single day. We have like 20 different rooms, like different sort of topics from relationships to spirituality to wellness to mindset, beauty, all of the things. And it's just, it's growing. It's amazing. And it keeps us sober.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I love it. And I can't wait to do this again. So thank you, Christina.
No, thank you. You ladies are so inspiring. You're gorgeous and you're confident.
I'm sending the confidence to you.
Good vibes.